All right, welcome back to the Cigar Box Guitar Builder, and I am here with Darren Pizel.
Pizel.
Close. Darren Pizel.
Big tall words.
I've only known him a year. Darren, we're talking to Darren today because Darren has just built his first cigar box guitar for a very good cause, and we'll get him to have a chat about that in just a second. Just a quick rundown of what we've been doing with the podcast at the moment. Mark and I are still doing the podcast. We're still rocking on. Be a couple of weeks until we get back into it and start doing things a little bit more on time. So it's probably going to be a fortnightly podcast because we're both insanely busy. The shop here is going mental. We've got orders all over the place. It is Christmas time as well, so I know Mark's flat out busy. It's all family. So bear with us. There's a lot of videos that we're putting on YouTube and on Instagram and on Facebook. So there's a bucket load of stuff coming out from us from the Cigar Box Guitar Builder. So just as I said, as far as the interviews are concerned, we're going to be building up a lot of interviews and talking to a lot of builders out there. Might even be talking to yourself, good listener. So if you think you're doing something pretty cool, drop us a line, give us a buzz, and maybe we can have a chat about what you're doing. But right now we're going to talk to Darren Pizel. So Darren, now you've bought a couple of cigar box guitars. I know you've bought a couple off me.
Yep.
What kind of got you into cigar box guitars?
My first one was ran into the gentleman that owns Box Guitars at the markets at Como.
Oh, yeah.
And saw him playing a fretless slide and thought that was pretty cool, so bought one.
Very cool.
Yeah.
He's at Mark. Good bloke.
Yeah.
Yes, we've got 4 of his lovely guitars in the shop at the moment, and very nice instruments, I will say. Sorry, please.
Yeah. So the last guitar I made was actually probably the first real crack with decent pickup and everything. Made a slide guitar for my cousin about 2 years ago. Sounds better than anything I've heard for a long time, which I was pissed off about. And make it worse, he doesn't even play it.
Oh, this is the one that you're going to hammer him and get it back, eh?
Yeah. Made one for my daughter, fretted one, just with a little piezo. Acoustic, I think I made that one. Out of a Derwent timber pencil box.
Oh, okay, yep.
That the Derwent pencils came in.
Yes,
it just looks really nice. So, but she's going to lose that too because she's not playing that. So I'll be taking that back and playing around with that. But the last one I made, was put a bit more time and effort into it because it was for a charity for Specialised, which was an offshoot of Specialised, which are in England, and they basically get all scar bands in England to raise money for Canteen for kids with cancer.
Fantastic.
And this year was the 3rd event, and my best mate Stewie and I have been number 1 and 2 ticket holders for the 3 years it's been in Australia because we know the lady Sally Gillard who organises it. So.
And where is it held?
Last year it was at Marrickville Bowling Club. The year before that it was at the Manning Bar, and I think the year before that was back at Marrickville. But I think next year it's going to be at Marrickville again.
Yep. And you're at Marrickville this year?
We're at Marrickville this year. But in saying that, Sally's went on a rock cruise and got to meet Brian Cadd and a lot of old Aussie rock legends.
Yeah.
And they're trying to gear up to have a Rock Legends gig.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
For next year. And Mental as Anything put their hand up. This is basically said they'll play every year.
Yeah.
They've been there 2 years running now.
Yeah.
So, it was pretty cool.
Good group of guys, Mental as Anything. I've always heard very, very good, lovely things about those guys.
Well, they've put in an order for me to make a bass guitar next year. And because their lead guitarist got up and played with it on stage this year and knocked it out of the park for about 30 seconds and during one of their songs. So, it was a pretty good night. So
as far as the guitar's concerned, what was the idea behind the guitar? What did you want to do with the guitar when you got in there?
It was more of a, just to auction it off, more of a tribute guitar. It had the logo Specialised on the back, and on the front, being mainly a ska gig, we had a bit of a two-tone theme to it and a Madness single stuck on the front of the guitar.
And what was the single? On the front?
Must Be Love, I think.
Must Be Love. Must Be Love. Love.
I can't remember. Yeah. But
see, whenever someone says ska to me, I always think Madness. It's the first thing I come to. Is
Madness specials, and this year I think it was the 40th anniversary of Two Tone Records, 50.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, so it was
nice. Good. Yeah. So talk to us about building the guitar. What did you use? Because it's not actually a cigar box, is it?
No, I used a wine box from the States
that
I picked up for $15 in an op shop somewhere.
Yeah.
I still left the little carry handle and everything on it, so I just left it pretty rough, but gave it a bit of a spray paint on the back, the logo, and on the front, and left a couple of sides bare timber.
Yeah.
And basically everyone that played that night signed the guitar. And then after making the guitar, I thought, geez, I need a case for it, which was a mad rush 3 days before the gig. So made a really cool case. Same again, just matte black, and got all the posters from the last 3 gigs, because my friend Stewie, best mate, helped me out with that.
Yeah.
And then put the big giant logo on it, and yeah.
Now we had a chat about, because we'll get on to how you built the guitar in a second, and what you used and the different things. But let's look at the guitar case for the moment. So how did you actually build the guitar case? What did you build it from?
I just used 6mm ply. I think six or 9mm plywood, yeah.
And for our American listeners, that's metric.
Yeah.
I'm being rude, sorry.
I'm not going to convert
I can't convert it. I can't for the life of me. I have no idea when they're talking about 16, 30 seconds.
Basically, I just laid the guitar down, measured the length, and added, really it was a tight fit, couple of centimetres either end, same with the width. And then basically made a box, and then measured down a certain distance and ripped it through with a circular saw, so I made a top and a bottom.
Yeah.
And then went to Clark Rubber, and they sell the actual foam that you use in camera cases.
Yes.
And just stuck a few bits of that in there so it didn't scratch it on the bottom and on the top.
Yep.
And put a little brace across for the neck to sit in, and that was it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. That was about 3 hours work though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And about $80 worth of parts.
Yeah, because if I had my time again, I would have started sourcing the parts way earlier.
Yeah.
But I just wanted it quick and easy, so I just bought a big giant piano hinge for the instead of rooting around with the hinges and everything.
Yeah.
And then just a handle and some latches.
And it wasn't too heavy. It wasn't very heavy at all.
No,
It was a really nice weight. And it looked good too. I think you kind of weathered it up a little bit on the edges and gave it a bit of a bump. I know you bumped it.
I didn't worry about rounding edges or anything. I just give it a rough sand to take the edges off it, and thought it's just there to stop the guitar getting damaged.
Yeah.
So who cares? You know, really, realistically, you could freaking sit on it. It's not going to break.
Yeah. So let's get to the guitar now, because we'll have a chat about how you built the guitar. So as far as fretting the guitar is concerned, how did you go about that? What were you looking at with that? I know, but our listeners.
Well, I was going to fret it. I've fretted once before, but at the moment, no garage, a shed, and my lounge room was a woodwork shop. So, as you know, I came and saw you, and you donated a really nice fretboard from
MRWS.
From MRWS, which made it just a lot easier, just a lot quicker. And just the maple neck, which I just routed. I can't remember, so I think it was a 12mm router bit just to round the corners off.
Yep.
And that was pretty much it.
And
I had some funky bracing on it with some just the aluminium right angle that the tilers use. Use that for the nut, just filed it down, and use that for the bracing to the box. And as you know, we earthed the pickup to it as well.
And let's talk about that fabulous pickup, because I know we had a good look around, and we ended up getting a really specialised guitar pickup for this one. And can you talk to us about this incredible pickup? Because
the $10 Audi pickup that you use on an acoustic guitar, which was actually worked out once you did a little bit of stuffing around bending the tabs for underneath. But once I bent the tabs and drilled some holes in it and made it really neat to come through the box, it just looked like it was made for it.
Yeah.
So, and it was actually easy to fix once you had the lid off, it was easy to fix it
I remember I was going to have a chat to you about saying, oh look, you better go and look at go and check out the Shane Spiel, because Shane Spiel does have a very, very good video on YouTube about what to do with the ends and how to use the little discount or little El Cheapo gold foil pickups. But before I'd even had a chance, Darren had just got. You did something actually quite different. You didn't do what he did, and I thought it was rather clever the way that you did it.
Well, I bent the tabs that go inside the guitar.
Yeah.
I just bent them down flat, and then I just drilled holes through the box, and bolted it.
And you were able to bolt it from the top, and and you were actually able to hide the tabs underneath, so there's no chance of scratching or anything. I just ended up thinking it did look actually really, really smooth and quite nice.
Yeah.
And you had the bridge. I think we used a timber bridge, probably oak. I think it was, wasn't it? It might have been oak or an oak timber bridge. And that's actually sat pretty much right in the middle of the record.
Yeah.
The little single, the single that sat there like a scratch plate, and it was a cracker of a job, mate. It really, really was. So talk to us about when you got there, who played it, and because I know you got some video of
Martin Cilia from Mental as Anything's got up one of the Mental songs and played it, knocked it out of the park. If you go on the Specialized website, you'll probably see it on there. And pretty much I took it backstage in the green room, and everyone loved it. And that's when the bass guitarist from Mentals went, I want a bass guitar for next year. So I got to start making a bass guitar. And then Marty from the Oscars, who was originally going to play it, but he wasn't feeling that well, he's put his hand up. He wants me to actually make him a personal one. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fantastic.
He wants a bit of a high action on it because he wants to play it slide.
Just slide on it? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man.
And then the keyboard player, Alistair from the Oscars, is like, can you make me a keyboard? So
a keyboard?
He's just joking around. I'm actually going to look. See what
go and have a look. You can find I
was going to make him one out of a couple of coconuts and put a Canimbla thing. And
use a piezo on it and run it through a fuzz pedal or something like that. Yeah.
Just something funny.
Oh, that's awesome. So, can you tell us how much the guitar sold for?
It went for $550. And the girl that ended up getting it was a volunteer there. She would have been about 18, 19, I suppose, and her dad bought it for her for a birthday or Christmas.
Yeah.
And the good thing was I went up there and I was just stirring her up, and I think they had 500 on it. I said, tell your dad to put another $50 on it, or I'm going to come and put my name down.
I'm surprised, because I thought you were going to end up buying it yourself, because you really loved it.
Oh, I did. And then I came back and he had $550 on it. I thought, you know what? And I was talking to her, she really loved it and wanted it. And I thought, I'm not going to push it. It's for a charity.
That's it.
And she was volunteering her own time.
That's awesome.
So I thought, you can have it for $550. I'm happy. It's going to a good home. And she's got pics up on Specialized website with her at home holding it and playing it.
Yeah.
I sent her a little message if you want to know anything about the guitar.
So for builders out there, what would the message be for people who are already building guitars? I mean, this is something that you feel that people should get out there and do a little bit more and
it's just fun. But don't get too worried about how it looks. It's really not about how it looks. Like, people build these pristine guitars and I look at them and think, they ain't going to sound any different to the rough and ready ones. So really the only thing you got to worry about is the pickup and your fret spacing is right, and then the rest you can muck around with it as you go.
Yeah,
so it doesn't really matter. I see things now and I think, I could make a guitar out of that, or I could make a guitar out of that.
That's the magic of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're completely hooked, aren't you?
Oh yeah, there's not much crap in the lounge room at the moment. So I've even got some frigging veneer in the shed. I'm thinking of making my own box and having a crack at that. So
that's awesome. Go and do it. I always suggest get out there and the other thing is, from my point of view, for someone who's been building them for a long time, it's really quite a cool thing to meet someone who's so enthusiastic about it, because the more that you do this and the more it becomes a business, you do tend to look at your instruments that you're building sometimes as a commodity, as something that you have to sell. And especially if you own your own, like with me at the moment, we obviously have rents and overheads and and bills and and all that sort of stuff that going on, having a proper shop, like not just a web store, but like an actual bricks and mortar store. So there's a lot of pressure on things. You tend to start looking at your instruments and things like that, as a means to an end, and that's not the reason I got into building these in the first place. So to see someone like Darren who's so enthusiastic about it and just doing them because he absolutely loves to do it, whether you sold one for $10 or $100 or $1,000, I don't think you care.
The only reason I got money for this one was as a charity. The other ones I've made, I've just given away.
Yeah.
And I've got a cousin he's doing it a bit tough. He's up in Townsville. He wants me to make him a 4-stringer. So
that's
I'll
awesome.
just pull my finger out and make one for him. So I'll just scrounge around, find bits and pieces and parts and God knows whatever, and that's it.
That's it. But the thing that I love is that what you're building, and I've seen it, I've seen what you're doing, and it's so different. It's so very, very different. And what I'm saying is to those people who are out there who are listening, who are long-term builders, or you've been doing it for a long time, don't be afraid of sharing your knowledge, sharing what you know with other people, because at the end of the day, they're going to do something. They may do something, but it's going to be something that's different to what you're doing anyway. Yeah. That's why I've got Buzz Box guitars in this shop, because people sometimes say to me, "Why have you got those guitars in here when you sell your own?" But those guitars are completely different than mine. They're a different look, they're a different aesthetic. They're I love having them in here because there's something really, really special about being able to to promote somebody else. Don't get me wrong, I'm not doing it for the love, just the love of it. Obviously, I make a percentage on those guitars as well. Let's be honest, it's business. But Jesus, it's nice to have some, because you can look at that and you kind of go, I really love that. But there's no way I'm going to copy that.
No.
I'm not going to. I don't want to copy that. That's not my look. That's
not
my style.
Sort of his style.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So and that's the thing. I love what you did with this guitar, and I think that's a really funky rock and roll kind of image, and I think that might be your niche then.
Well, I left the bridge floating as well, so because I spoke to her and said, if you want to lower it, if you don't want to play a slide, it's not that hard. Because I found a pencil, the old pencil. If I pulled the old bridge out and put a pencil in it, dropped it down about 3 mil, and it was beautiful to play just as a fretted guitar.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
it. Well, they do it with the nut. Like on electric guitars, you can actually buy this clip-on thing that you just put under the strings. You don't have to take the nut off, and all it does is it fits over the nut of a normal guitar, and it raises it again by about 3 millimeters, and it's off the fretboard, and you can't press it down onto the board, but you can play great slide guitar on it, and it's. So that's a fantastic option. So people, a couple of things that we'll take away from this. Definitely look at your charities. If you've got a charity that really needs some support and help, get out there and and donate. Donate. It doesn't hurt. If you're doing that, it's a great feel good thing. It doesn't hurt as far as getting your name out there as well. People start realising, hey, this person actually gets out there and likes to give and likes to promote other things, not just him or herself. If you know someone who's getting into cigar box guitar building, don't be afraid of giving them a hand, giving them a helping hand. That's the whole idea of this channel. That's the whole idea of it's what Mark and I do. You can't build a wrong cigar box guitar. At the end of the day, if it sounds all right, that's it.
Who cares?
That's it. That's it. The only thing I jump up and down about, and I do, is with Pizos, because I love piezo pickups. Do some research on where you're going to put those pickups. Go and check back. In some of the earlier interviews we've done with John Nickel and with Mike Snowden, all these guys who I think even Justin Johnson, I think actually gave some really good tips. Go and check out these guys and those earlier interviews about where to place your piezo pickups. It's not in some cases it's not where you think it is, and you might be quite surprised with how they work. Go and check those out. Darren, it's been an absolute pleasure. I know we're going to see a lot more of you. Well, I do in here because I can't get rid of him. So, but it's been a pleasure. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate you doing that. Is there anything else you want to say out there? Oh, all right. So, I always ask 2 questions at the end of these interviews, and the first one is, and you're a handy guy. So, what would be your top tip for new builders?
Ooh. Get organised and have a decent work area to work in.
Alright.
Because, as I said, I've only got a shed and it's full of crap. I was basically doing it in my lounge room.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and probably the handiest thing to probably have, I reckon, would be just a cheap scroll saw or a bandsaw. It just makes life so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, and this leads to our final question of the interview. What's your secret weapon?
My secret weapon? Being open-minded and just looking at stuff and go, yeah, I can use that. Like, I used a lot of aluminium on mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and people were like, how'd you come up with that? And I just went, I needed a right angle, it's easy to screw down and it's easy to work with. You just file it down to whatever you wanted. Like when I did the nut out of aluminium. It's just easy to work with.
I like also, just sorry, I know we're just... I like what you did on the tail end of the guitar as well when you earthed it and how you actually did that. So if you've got any photographs of the guitar, forward them through to me, because if you like, I'll pop them on the... you're on the Cigar Box Guitar Builder podcast group?
No.
The Facebook group?
No. But it's like even to hold the strings down, I just use a flat bit of aluminium because it's easy to work with. You can just file it, do what you want.
Smooth it out and shine it up. And
Well, I think I just roughed it up with a bit of sandpaper so it had a bit of a matte look to it as well.
Yeah.
So, and as you said, it conducts electricity, so it's easy to earth to.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. All right, mate. Fantastic. Thanks again. Thank you for listening to the Cigar Box Guitar Builder. I'm not going to say what episode this is because I'm not sure where this is going to sit in the space, but we'll be putting this up fairly quickly. Mark and I will be back with you, as I said, probably in the new year, and we'll catch you then. Bye.
Too easy.
How good's that?